All right, let's watch this one, chat. We'll watch this one next, and then we'll move on.
This is what Trump ran on.
Yeah.
He ran on scared politics. I think it's important to center this conversation to talk about immigration.
All right, chat, let me restart it. Ready? Let's go.
This is what Trump ran on.
Yeah.
He ran on scared politics. I think it's important to center this conversation to talk about immigration some, and that the last full month of the Biden administration here in December was the lowest crossing at the border since 2020 when Donald Trump was president. Do I agree that if there's bad people here that have committed major crimes, they should be kicked out of this country? Absolutely. But 68% of all the Latinos in America know somebody that's undocumented. And for all you folks at home, that's the folks who's picking your salad and milking your cows. On CNN tonight, in South Dakota, our farmer came on.
68% might know somebody who's undocumented, but they might not like somebody who's undocumented. So, like, that's also an important consideration.
I'm half Hispanic, and I know a lot of people in my family who know Hispanic people who are illegal, and I know a lot of other Hispanic families out there, and they don't think it's fair that these people are here legally or illegal when they had to come in legally and do the process and jump through hoops to get into this country, and all these people had to do is jump the border. So surprisingly, a lot of Hispanic people, like Mexicans, they don't want illegals in this country. It's kind of a shocker to like the white CNN viewer, the white, CNN host, but a lot of brown people, when I say brown, I mean Hispanic, do not like undocumented people.
This show and talked about how he had voted for Donald Trump and didn't really think Donald Trump was going to deport the men and women who are milking his cows. Milk's finna go up. Buckle up.
Well, I want to, you made a point here about criminals, because I think they've been pretty clear for logistical reasons that they are going to start with let's figuratively speaking, the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest thing for them to accomplish. Are you, Keith, concerned about a plan that involves rounding up people who are already...
Trump's border czar confirms raids to begin on Tuesday morning. So Trump gets inaugurated on Monday, and then on Tuesday morning they begin the raids.
Damn, do they get to work in one day? This is gonna be crazy, guys. We're gonna come back on Tuesday, and I have a wedding to go to, and I'm gonna be in San Diego. So I wonder if I'm gonna see any raids. I have a wedding in San Diego I have to go to, so it's right by the border. Anybody in chat? You guys, anybody in chat, or if you're watching on YouTube, let me know in the comments below. Do you think I'll see any raids? Let me know. Let me know. Yes? Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Adjudicated as criminals. Maybe they have deportation orders. Maybe they have final orders of deportation.
Yeah.
And saying, we're finally going to get you and deport you as a court has adjudicated.
Well, the devil's in the detail, and I don't really know where the details are. It seems like there's a lot of puff right now and a lot of scare tactics. They want people to be afraid about this. I just don't understand how they have the infrastructure to be able to pull this off on Tuesday. I mean,
that is something I have a question to as well. Is out of all the stuff they've been saying and all the stuff they probably will say, out of all of it, I agree with most of this one. It's like, how are they going to do this? Like, how do we have the infrastructure to do this? Do we have the manpower to do this? How are they going to determine who's illegal or not? I'm sure they have a lot of information, but like, what are they going to, like, literally just, it's going to be like a war zone for the next 2 months where people are just getting dragged out of their houses, thrown on a freaking ship, thrown on a boat, and shipped back. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how this happens. I need to start carrying my ID card. Some people say I don't look Hispanic. Some people say I do. So I don't know, but I'm going to be like, I'm illegal. I'm legal. I'm legal. I'm legal. I'm going to wear a shirt saying I'm legal. Please don't touch me. Like, I don't know how they're going to do this.
Tom Homan himself was saying, we need 100,000 detention beds in order to be able to do this. We have like 20,000 or 40,000 or something like that. You're talking about doubling the number of detention beds in order to be able to keep these people in some sort of...
Well, I was thinking about more like officers, the logistics. You just buy more beds, dog. Go to Costco.
I'll tell you how they're going to do it. They're not going to give a fuck about the beds. They're just going to put them in there anyway.
Yeah,
like, that's
right?
What they're gonna do.
You give them sleeping bags.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, Asmon's right. Asmon's right.
Like, I mean, really. Because, like, I feel like they've already had a use case of this working and the people liking it with El Salvador. Because, like, El Salvador, a lot, like, the guy, the Bukele or whatever, the guy that basically did the thing, like, put all these people in jail, like, he did violate a lot of people's rights to do that. Like, I mean, you could say, like, oh, yeah, it was, like, for a greater good, but he did fuck over a lot of people. It worked, right? And it undeniably worked. And I think that a lot of people, and I think the leadership there saw that, and they're like, okay, well, if we do this and it's effective, nobody is going to care about like the optics or whether it's nice or not. That's what is the U.S. El Salvador? No, but the people I don't view are fundamentally different. So if people feel like they're getting what they want, they will forgive moral, like bad behavior. The people will care. Okay.
And remember, the American people, when they voted for Donald Trump, they literally said this is one of the biggest points of voting for him is that they care about the border security and the illegal immigration problem. So they're open. I think the American people, like Asmongold is saying, are willing to look the other way. You know, oh, what's going on over there? While something maybe is not looking too good on paper, it might not be like the best view for them. You know, so they're gonna probably just, oh, what a beautiful day. Well, somebody's getting like pulled into a van right next to them. Oh yeah. Are they done? Okay, let's go. I think it's a lot of that's gonna happen. And like he said in El Salvador, they were the president, what he was doing was not popular on the global scale. The people looking into the country, but the people in the country loved it because it cleaned up their country and it's thriving now. It's like he's talking about how great it is. Everybody's talking about how great it is, El Salvador, and it used to be a terrible place, drug infested, crime infested place. And yeah, it was a medieval times for like 3 months. You know, human rights were being thrown out the window for 3 months, but now it's like well, from what I've heard, my friend's El Salvadorian, he went there, he said it's beautiful now. You could go there and you feel safe. So I think American people are going to be okay with 3 months of hell if it turns out that housing costs go down because all the illegals are out, and the cost of living goes down, the crime goes down, and more resources for their cities are allocated for the right stuff instead of like homeless, crime, and illegals. So I think a lot of this is going to be a net positive.
Okay. All right. That's what I think it's going to happen. Yeah, the ends justify the means. Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
That's what I think will happen. Liberals won't. Yeah, but they don't agree with it anyway.
Before you can deport them. How are they going to possibly do this? So I think a lot of what is going on right now is they want people to be scared so that Trump can come in and pretend like he's doing something. We're going to have a lot of executive orders signed in the next few days, and we're going to think there's something happening, but I don't really think he's going to be able to do as much as he wants to do. But it will be dangerous, but not as quickly as he wants it to be.
I think, though, that what's important to remember is that a lot of the policies that were put in place by the Biden administration are going to be taken away so that hopefully we go back to the Trump way it was, where the stay in Mexico policy. I mean, we had a week,
which is a great policy that Biden removed the first day and caused a lot of these problems. I don't know why they're allowed to come in here illegally and stay here and wait for their court case. It used to be you'd have to go back to Mexico and wait. It was one of the dumbest things, in my opinion, that he did that led to this illegal issue. And a lot of people don't recognize this, but the house cost going up, the cost of living is all related to this as well, because when you have illegals who are, I don't know if you guys know any illegals, I kind of do, and they get together and they all work, you know, they all work together, they work in their construction, their landscaping or whatever, and then they rent a house, like 5 of their family members rent a house, and that's why a lot of these renters have been getting a lot of money, because, you know, when you split it 5 ways, it's not that much money. So the price of rent has gone up. You have more people applying for apartments who are illegal. You have more people applying, and you would think, oh, they're illegal, they can't get in, but they are. So the rent, the housing pricing, and the cost of living all are directly related to the increase of people being here. When you have more people here with less supply, the demand could go higher, the price goes up. It's just simple supply and demand.
week and a half ago in Boston, we had a situation where an illegal was in a housing unit with over $1 million worth of fentanyl, an AK-47, and weapons. And these are the type of people that they want to get rid of.
You have
These are the
American
people,
citizens
I mean,
in
there
Las
are going to be
Vegas
plenty of
and New
people,
Orleans who are killing
plenty of
people as well.
criminals
I mean, we have American citizens in the United States who are committing acts of terrorism, who are committing murders and crimes. In fact, American citizens, natural-born American citizens, are more likely to commit those crimes than people who come here as immigrants.
Then
So
they have to face, a court as well.
It's easy to pick out a case and cherry pick this and say, this is the problem that we're all facing because this one person did this one horrible thing. And we can all agree that that's a horrible thing. But that's not how you make policy. You don't make policy because of anecdotal evidence. You make policy based on facts and statistics and data.
Yeah, and the fact remains that the overwhelming number of immigrants here are law-abiding people who are paying taxes, who are following the law. And this sort of...
I would say that none of them are. If they're illegal immigrants,
they're not paying
then
taxes.
By definition, they're not following the law. I mean, like, what are we talking about? How is this even a conversation? It's crazy.
Notion of
He is right, though. It is crazy that these people are breaking the law, and then you have these people trying to defend them. Like, it's illegal. First of all, you being in this country illegally is illegal. That's the term, illegal immigration. It's illegal. It's wrong. It's breaking the law. And they say, oh, they're paying taxes and everything. They're not paying taxes like you and me. They're not paying taxes like an American citizen. Yes, they pay the sales tax when they pay for things. But I know somebody who has a company, and his employees all pay less, like the illegal ones pay less in taxes, because they're able to claim a lot of different things that American citizens can't claim. So they're paying less in their taxes. Less of their taxes are being taken out from them on the paychecks, which they shouldn't be getting the paychecks anyways because they're not legal, right? There's legal processes that happen there, but people are just letting it happen. They're getting less taxes taken from their checks. They do pay sales tax. Yes, they're paying sales tax, but they don't get hit with federal and state income tax because they're not legal. They're not a legal citizen. So how are they going to pay the taxes like everybody else does? So this tax thing is kind of like a red herring. It's kind of like a lie.
Like, we must remove all of them as rapidly as possible, and that's the problem with America. That's a really dangerous way to look at it.
Well, they're not going to be able to remove all of them.
That's right.
Like, almost everybody acknowledges that. And so are we going to see a bunch of activity on Tuesday, and then it's going to taper off when people turn to other issues that come up? Because to get to even 1 million is going to take quite a long time. It could take the entire year, let alone 11 million. That's probably not going to happen.
You'll see activity. I don't know about a lot of activity, but for anyone who thinks that Donald Trump is bluster and bluff on this issue, he ran on it. He didn't run on scare tactics.
He also ran on draining the swamp the first time. That shit didn't happen. So I don't think people should count their chickens before they hatch.
And that's one thing that, like, I'm in the middle. I really don't care if Democrat or Republican, whatever I think is the right choice, whatever I think is the right thing. I have no allegiance to any side. I've been called a right-winger before. I've been called a lefty before. It depends who I'm talking to. But one thing with Trump is that when he got into office, I was really excited because he said he was going to drain the swamp. He said he was going to lock her up, right? I thought he was going to really put Hillary Clinton in jail. I was excited for that. And he didn't do any of that. He didn't drain the swamp. He didn't put her in jail. The corruption just kept going on. So that's one thing that really bothered me about Trump. So I'm very, very curious to see the next 4 years what he does, because this time he has a different campaign. Last time he said that he didn't know what he was doing. He said he didn't know Washington. He didn't know how bad it was. And he got bad people next to him. He said he made a mistake with his VP pick, with Mike Pompeo. He said there's a lot of people that he got around him that he just shouldn't have done that. So we'll see this time.
Like, I mean, it's very fair to say that. Super fucking fair to say that. Like, I've very much been like a, wait and see. Like, yeah, they're talking a big game, but when's it going to happen?
Ran on what was either the top
it's very
issue
fair
or the
to say that.
top issue among the American people for the entirety of the campaign. And so you're going to see him deliver on his promise. It will be a promise made, promise kept, to start moving forward on that. But I will say, I think it is a fair criticism that expectations have not been appropriately set. I think that Donald Trump, Tom Homan, the entire team needs to do a better job explaining precisely what we will see and when, because there are some folks on my side of the aisle, Republicans, who are going to expect everything to get fixed in 6 months, and there are others who will expect absolutely nothing will happen. Government is government. It's going to be messy. It's not going to be easy.
I actually think this guy's the most reasonable person here.
Yeah, I think
He's
so as
actually
well.
completely reasonable, and everything he's saying is true. Yeah.
And they need to be honest about
What
that.
are we in for in terms of the legal environment? I mean, I remember, like almost like it was yesterday, that first week of the first Trump administration, when people were at airports.
The travel ban.
There was
Yeah.
mass confusion both inside and outside of the United States. There were court cases being adjudicated in the middle of the night, all kinds of things like that. It was actual pure chaos.
I remember that. That was going back to the Muslim ban and a lot of the stuff that was putting in. Let me live this in real life. Both of my business partners are immigrants. They've both been in this country over 20 years. One of them under DACA, the temporary service for kids who have come, and the other under TPS from El Salvador. Both went to their entire school in America. Both graduated with honors. Both of them now are business partners with me and make more money than a U.S. congressman and don't know the certainty of what their lives will be. Have they broke the law? No. But if they stay past March when one of their TPS expires, then they have, quote unquote, broke the law, to your points about devils in the details. So real people are living this, and I have a very, very good life. And folks around me have a good life. Think about the people who are just trying to make it every day and the uncertainty in their life.
So
I'm sorry, if this had been an issue that
So they're
Both
legal? Yeah, no, I do think that there's like there's an intentional like muddying of the waters of like illegal and legal immigration. And I think it's the same reason why like they're trying to like they try to change the vocabulary of like illegal immigrant to undocumented immigrant. It's like, I mean, it would sound retarded if you said like unreceipted customer whenever it's somebody walking out of a Walmart without paying for stuff, right? But this is the effective same vocabulary and same language, but it's being used. And I think that it's very clearly, it's soft language. And they're yeah, it's illegal alien. Yeah, it makes no difference wartime-wise. Well, I'm just saying, I'm not about wartime or anything like that. It's not war. But like what I'm saying is that they're intentionally trying to, like they're trying to make it seem like it's the same thing.
Which is not.
Congress had been actually trying to fix for years. I could understand this, but this has been a problem that especially Republicans have lifted up and not wanted a solution so they could continue.
You know, I also want to point that this guy who's talking about, oh, my business partner this, my business partner that, they literally had this guy, or maybe the other African-American man, was talking about how you can't use one situation to demonize all of them, right? You can't use one situation where it's a tricky situation, like Asmon said, and they're like doing very well, but they have like a visa that might expire and then they'll become illegal. That's not the same thing that what we're talking about. And to use something like that is just a fabrication of the facts that are going on here. It's trying to, like he said, muddy the waters here, and that's just it's kind of manipulation. You know what I mean? They're trying to mind manipulate you here. Just like they said, hey, you can't use that one guy with his bad illegal immigrant who has the fentanyl, the drugs, AK-47. You can't use that there, but then they go and do something else. It's a hypocritical statement saying, hey, this one illegal guy is my business partner. He makes more money than you guys all make. His visa might expire or something. It's not the same thing. So it's kind of like, what are they doing?
It's obviously
running on it. And this is like the ultimate I'm going to seem tough on crime moment. And it is going to be quite frightening for a lot of Americans to watch these sort of raids. This is not the sort of America that a lot
I don't think that's going to be frightening. I think the truth is that a lot of people, like, if my read on this is correct, I think this is exactly what people voted for. I think that's 100% what people voted for. When people voted for somebody like Trump, like, and I bet there's a bunch of people that are trying to volunteer to sign up to do it. I feel like this has been something that people have been mad about really for my whole life. And especially in like the last like 15 years or 10 years, people have been talking about this like crazy. So we literally voted for this. Yeah.
It's been a problem since I've been a child too. You always hear about immigration this. The Democrats allow immigration because they want free votes. the Republicans don't like immigrants, blah, 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 immigrants. It's been going on since I've been voting in what, like four, I don't want to date myself here, like 4 cycles now. Obama is when I first started voting. I think I missed Obama, actually. I think I missed it by like a year or two, a couple of years. But yeah, that's when I started like actually paying attention. It was like Obama, Bush years. I think I was like in my teens, late teens, early teens, something like that. But yeah, I started paying attention to those era. So it's always been immigration this, immigration that. So it is a problem that seems to never go away. So I think a lot of people, like Asmon are saying, would jump at the opportunity to make this just go away. Like, can we just stop the insanity?
Here's the video. I think that's what's happening. The purge starts Tuesday. I wouldn't call it the purge, right? But like, that's it. And I'm Mexican, get them out. Well, yeah, I think there's a lot of people that feel that way. It's not even a question. Some Trump voters are probably going to have family members purged. Well, maybe that's why they voted for Trump. Yeah, I don't know. And what about the children? Well, if you bring your kid there and you bring your kid with you and you're breaking the law, I don't really see, like, so should we just like not uphold the law on people that have kids? That's stupid. I feel like this is emotional blackmail, right? It's emotional manipulation. I don't really care a lot about that. It doesn't really matter to me. It's more important to me that the people here are safe and that the laws are followed. What happens to the kids, that's secondary. They should have thought about that.
It's like the borders are set. Remember in the AOC video we talked about, I don't know, a couple months ago? She goes, some of these people have children. You're going to separate families? And he goes, if you're an American citizen, you get caught drinking and driving, you go to jail. The child is separated from the family. Like, what are we talking about? You break the law. If you're breaking the law, you go to jail. We don't care if you have a kid or not, if you're American, right? If you're breaking the law and you're illegal here, we don't care if you have a kid or not. You're going back. It's the law.
That when they brought their kids over illegally. Some families can be deported together. Yep, it's that simple. And so that's what I think is going to happen. And I feel like the idea that people are going to be afraid about this or like upset about it, I think that's crazy. That's crazy. I think they're happy. That's the way I see it.
I have to agree with them like 100% that a lot of people are actually pretty happy about what's going on. So that's a video for you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys like and subscribe. We do a lot of React content and gameplay here on Twitch. Chat, we're going to be watching maybe a couple more videos, and then we're going to move on to Marvel Rivals rank climbing. So again, guys, if you're on YouTube, I really appreciate it. Have a great night. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. Subscribe.